day, brothers and sisters, and welcome to another edition of The Narrow Way to Christ. And the title of today's topic is Let Them See Your Faith. And we're going to start reading Matthew chapter 14, starting at verse 25. And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer. It is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, be it me to come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the winds boisterous, he was afraid, and began to sink. He cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore did thou doubt? Again, O thou of little faith, wherefore did thou doubt? So, one thing about Peter, he always pushed it to the limit when it came to his faith. He had to do the extra to prove himself that he was better than the others. Now, this ain't about you proving yourself to be better than nobody, but this is about you letting people see your faith. Jesus came walking on the water to them, and they were afraid. But Peter pushed it to that extra limit and said, Lord, if it's you, bid me to come onto this water and come to you. Peter walked on that water as long as he kept his eyes on Christ. But the Bible said when he saw the wind boisterous and everything going on around him and took his eyes off Jesus, he began to sink. And Jesus reached out and caught him and asked him and said, Why did you doubt? Why did you doubt? So the message today is, why are you doubting? Jesus already said, come. That ministry what Jesus put in you. That idea, what God put in your mind. Don't doubt. Get rid of them naysayers and all those unbelievers that's around you that don't believe what God done put in you. If the Lord gave you a ministry, walk on that ministry. Jesus called us to walk on our situations, not in them. Peter walked on water. He walked on top of that situation. He called us to control our circumstances by focusing on him. Once Peter took his eyes off Jesus and started focusing on everything around him, he began to sink. And it's the same thing with you and me. Once we start focusing on the naysayers, the doubters, the people that's telling us what we can't do, once we start believing in what they believe in instead of believing in what Jesus done put in us to believe in, we begin to sink. We lose control of those outrageous circumstances that's going on around us. All things are possible to those that believe. If you can believe, you'll see the glory of God in your life. Stay focused on Jesus. Get rid of the naysayers. And one thing I want to let y'all know, the other disciples, they was in that same ship with Peter. And if they chose to, they could have walked on the water just like Peter did. But because Peter took it to another level, Peter chose to let them see his faith. You let them see your faith by stepping out on the intangible, doing the impossible. Because with man, it is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. So remember that. Let them see your faith. That faith that Jesus put in you, when Jesus done called you to do the impossible, do it. Don't doubt it. And if you don't doubt, you'll see the glory of God in your life.